Today we're testing the RTX 4070 Ti in Diablo 4 beta. Now I actually didn't want to do a video on this, but I thought seeing that the beta is still live, I'll just do a quick video. The reason why I didn't want to do a video is because I think that the beta's performance is not really indicative of what the released version's performance would be. We'll be starting off at 4K. We'll work our way down to 1080p. Today we're pairing this with an Intel 12700K with 32 gigabytes of DDR4 3600 megahertz CL18 memory. Now let's just go through the settings here. It's everything is set to high, and we are running at 4K. All right, so let's start our benchmark here. Now, as you can see, we've got our VRAM usage and our DDR4 usage and everything in between. And you can see that the RTX 4070 Ti has got 12 gigabytes of VRAM, and that's all been used. We are also sitting at about 20 gigabytes of system memory usage, which is extremely high. Right, so I'm here in this I'm not sure exactly where I am, but this place is definitely above my level. I'm level 9 and this area is level 25, so expect me to die quite a few times. As you can see that there are quite a lot of stuttering. The frame rate is quite high. It's pretty good actually for 4K. The graphics look okay. Not much I can say there, but well, we'll be focusing on the performance more. You can see that there's a lot of stuttering happening here. It actually does help when you reduce the texture quality to low or medium, but the issue with this game in its current state is the VRAM usage, right? And I believe that's where most of our stuttering is coming from. I know I'm cheesing here, but I just want to fight a little bit without dying. As you can see, these guys are level 25, and it's not going to go well for me. At least we got a nice armor here. Anyway, so I just want to show you something. If you go into options here and you go to the texture quality, it actually says that on high it's going to be using 8 gigabytes of VRAM. That's not true. Now, this is an open early access beta or a closed early access beta, so we can't really expect the performance to be perfect, and that's why I was hesitant to make a video on it, because I just don't think it'll be fair towards what the game might perform like once it is actually released. But there you can see our usage, or VRAM usage, is actually now above 12 gigabytes. The game doesn't slow down, so that's why I think it's not really an accurate indication. That once again, that's VRAM allocated, not VRAM usage, but it gives you a pretty good idea, right? And I just level up, and now I'm level 10. Now we can go fight in the level 25 area. And this is now at 4K, everything on high. I'm not going to be changing too many settings here, but you can see our system memory usage actually crept up to 23 gigabytes of usage there, and that's excessive. So there's another player. I'm going to be trying at 1440p next, and then we'll move down to 1080p. Now, I just want to mention that this game actually does support DLSS. So for 4K, I am going to test DLSS, but that's the only resolution where I'll be using it. Now we'll just use DLSS quality. This game actually supports DLSS 3 frame generation, not in the beta, but apparently the retail version will have it. Not entirely sure why it would need it, because we are getting quite high frame rates, and the only GPUs that support DLSS frame generation are actually the 4070 Ti, 4080 and 4090, and as you could see, we didn't struggle to maintain 120 frames per second at 4K even with the 4070 Ti. So DLSS 3 kind of pointless, but maybe it'll be nice to have if you are planning on buying maybe a 4050 or a 4060 and plan to play this game at 4K. So enabling DLSS quality seems to have taken care of some of the stuttering, or it might just be that this level is fully loaded into system memory. Might be part of that 23 gigabytes of memory usage, but our average frame rate did increase a little bit. That was quite a big stutter there, but once again, that's not sure what's happening here. Maybe I'm lagging out. And that's once again just some side effects of having to play the beta. Alright, enough of 4K. Let's try 1440p next. Alright, we're now at 1440p and DLSS has been turned off, and as you can see we pretty much doubled our frame rate. Our VRAM usage is still sitting in the 12 gigabytes region. Maybe this is a boss battle event joint. Oh, look at that. So this is just where I'm going to be dying on a recording nonetheless. Alright, anyway, just gonna see what happens here. So you can see that our system memory usage is also still extremely high. I'm actually looking forward to the full release of this game. I'm a big Diablo fan, but this is not a game review, this is just a GPU review. Alright, so we had an average of about 220 frames per second here at 1440p. Once again, the system memory and VRAM usages are very high, but let's see what happens at 1080p. Alright, we're now at 1080p and our frame rate increased by another 100 frames per second there, as you can see. Now the frame time graph is pretty smooth. Our VRAM usage is still pretty high, as well as our system memory. So it doesn't matter what resolution you play this game, you'll be VRAM bound for some reason. I saw even with the 6900 XT, doesn't matter what resolution I'm playing on, it's using 16 gigabytes of VRAM or allocating 16 gigabytes. But you can see that the frame time graph is a lot smoother than at 1440p and 4K. There's still a lot of stuttering going on, so definitely still not perfect. But I do think there's something maybe not 100% right with the servers at the moment. The lag seems a little bit worse than earlier in this weekend. The loading screens are also a bit long. It's not as instant as the previous Diablo versions. It does take its time to fully load. And now we're underground, and you can see that we're still getting around 300 FPS. Alright, so you can see our FPS drops quite a bit, and our GPU usage drops as well. So we a lot CPU bound at this stage, but that VRAM usage is still extremely high. Alright, I'm not going to be wasting too much time here at 1080p. You can see that the frame rate is pretty inconsistent. So at 1440p we are mostly GPU bound, so that's where I'll be playing this game with this GPU. I just want to show you one other thing. Even if you play at 1080p with the render resolution set to 50%, just have a look at the system memory and VRAM usage. Alright, so we're now at 50% render resolution, and I mean, you can't really see what's happening here. Our frame rate stayed more or less the same, but so did our VRAM allocation. So definitely some sort of memory leak, or maybe the game is just allocating everything that it can to this game. But either way, I think if it stays like it is, which I highly doubt, so once again, this is just the early access beta. I don't think things will stay as it is, but if they do, then just be prepared for a very stuttery experience. And here's the butcher, and I saw some people struggle with with this guy, so maybe not the best to try and take him on now, because there we go. Obviously, I have died. Alright, and on that note, I'm going to leave it. This is not me bashing the performance. Honestly, let's be realistic here. This is an early access beta. The performance will probably change quite a lot before the game is actually released in June. This was just to give you an idea. I think the frame rate should be more or less the same, but the stuttering should be a lot less, and so should the system memory and VRAM usage. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, we hope to see you in the next one.